What's going on, folks, man? Welcome back to the set. I'm your boy, Money Matt, and I'm here with a scenario that every sneakerhead dreads. Imagine grabbing a pair of those grails off your shelf and you've kept them dead stock for years. Maybe some that just, crazy price through the roof at this point. You pull them out the box, you give the midsole a light squeeze to admire the quality, and it happens, bruh. It happens. A cloud of dust erupts. The shoe crumbles right in your hands. It's not a fake. It's not a factory defect. You know what it is, bruh. It's a chemical process called hydrolysis, and it is silently eating away at the polyurethane midsoles that we all know and love, bruh. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I'm good, bruh, my collection is safe. I keep my grails in a dark closet, sealed up tight. You might be mistaken. In reality, you might actually be speeding up the process of the destruction of that shoe. 1 minute the shoe looks perfect, flawless even, and then the next is cracked into a dusty mess. We're gonna get into the process of hydrolysis and ways you can slow down the process of hydrolysis to save those grails that we all know and love. I'm your boy Money Matt, bruh. Let's get at it. What is hydrolysis? And we're not gonna get too nerdy into this, but hydrolysis is the name of the disaster that we're talking about. Simply put, water molecules in the air work their way in between the long polymer chain that makes up the shoe's midsole. Now, over time, these water molecules break down the plastic, snapping the chain and leaving behind a brittle, crackly substance that we all know as shoe rot. Now, no collection is really safe when we talk about this. Even the multi-platinum artists have shown their archives of sneakers just crumbling online. Case in point, Trick Daddy a few days ago was showing off his collection and he was just, they was just falling to pieces. Now, if it can happen to a multi-$1,000 collection, it can definitely happen to yours. Cause the hydrolysis is real, folks. Now, in this section, let's get into the causes. Now, polyurethane begins to break down the moment it leaves the factory. Heat, humidity, and simple oxygen are the primary catalysts, and we all know we can't do without those three. Fast forward 10, 15, 20 years, and once that cushy midsole becomes hopelessly brittle. The scariest part is there's often zero warning. I've seen plenty of blowouts on sneaker forums, Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth. You might open a box that you have taped up since 2007 only to have the shoe disintegrate in your hand or on your feet in public. The only early symptom is often by faint yellowing that many collectors mistake for that vintage or so-called patina right before the foam collapses under its own weight. Another reason why Nike has kind of started giving us the off-white or the yellowing of the midsoles. Speeding up the age process is what it looks like, but we all know what it is. Now, another common storage mistake that we all have, right, is we've heard the advice to keep them in cool and dry. But let's be real, those circumstances are not mostly ideal. Most keep them in closets or in neither. Storing a box under the bed can trap the moisture from the floor into that sneaker. keeping plastic bins in attics, subject them to extremely high heat in the summer. And I live in Florida, so you already know. And that doesn't even you know what? Let's not even talk about vacuum sealing bags, because squeezing out the air puts pressure on the midsoles, which in theory accelerates the formation of cracks. So the safest environment is an air-conditioned room with a steady temperature of between 60 to 70 degrees and about 40 to 50% humidity. Think more of something like a wine cellar for your sneakers, basically. That's what the ideal conditions are to maintain or slow down the breakdown process of hydrolysis. Now, how do we prevent it? Everyday factors can speed up the process. You're accelerating decay every time you, number one, leave them near a window, as UV light weakens the material. Number two, we stack heavy boxes on top of each other. Now, as that pressure cracks the already weakened foam, it accelerates the process. Now, number three is we only wear them every few years, which allows the factory glue to essentially dry out. And we don't rotate shoes, meaning one pair ages much faster than the other ones. The surprising truth is gently wear your retros every month, which helps. It flexes the glue and the rubber, which slows down the breakdown process. Keeping the shoe dead stock, really all it does is create a death sentence for your shoes unless you take those steps to intervene. That's why I always wear my shoes. It's only very few pair of shoes that I have not. Matter of fact, I don't really have any that's DS at all. But I digress. Now let's talk about the cure. Luckily, again, there are preventive measures. Step one, climate control. We spoke about that already. Get an inexpensive digital hydrometer to ensure that your storage room conditions are dialed in. They're not that expensive. Check your humidity, check your temperature, and you should be good to go. Now, step two, shape support. Use cedar shoe trees to absorb the excess moisture to help keep the shoe in its form intact. Step three, rotation schedule. I know this seems like a lot of work, but mark the boxes with the last time you actually wore them and aim to wear them every 90 days. I know that's a lot, but in the end, it's gonna help slow down that process. Now, step four, barrier tactics. Toss a few of those silica gel packs in every box and swap them out every 6 months, and you will not go wrong with that. Step five, movement day. Once a quarter, take your shoes out and gently flex the forefoot and let the air circulate. It takes about 10 minutes of your time, but it could add years of life to those grails that we hold near and dear. Now let's talk about whether these things could be fixed if you're already too late in the process. We're all familiar with sole repair, sole swaps, you know. But if you already hear that crunch in your shoes and the crumbling foams, you need to act fast. Clean the separated pieces with warm water and a soft brush. Let them dry for about 24 to 32, 36 hours, right? Now, get some flexible polyurethane adhesive like shoe glue or bar cement. Clamp the shoe for 48 hours. You may buy yourself another year or two with that pair of shoes. Now, if the outsole is separating, a professional can often perform a resole or a sole swap, but once that midsole turns into powder, the only fix is the full donor sole swap pretty much, what can cost you to about 200 to 250 bucks, depending on the model of the shoe. Now, once that foam is chalked, bro, it's a wrap. You might as well not even worry about that shoe anymore. Ain't no bringing it back. Now, the bottom line is hydrolysis is not a myth. It's basic chemistry. Yeah, no other way around it. It's happening right now, and it's coming for nearly every pair of sneakers made before the mid 2010s. Maybe a little after that. You get that one pair of shoes, bruh, and you just really don't want to wear them because they mean just that much to you. If it does, then you really need to just wear that shoe. It's the only real way to slow down the process and store them in these ideal conditions that we spoke of earlier. Hell, they may even outlast the hype if you take care of them properly. But that's all I got today, man, for our educational video on the hydrolysis program, which is the disease that is killing our sneakers. If you don't wear them, bruh, they just gonna turn into a cloud of dust, like Thanos took the snap to your shoes. I'm your boy Money Matt, bro. I'm gonna get on out of here and go enjoy the rest of my day, as you should as well. I bid you folks adieu. If you have not hit that like and subscribe button, please be much obliged to do so. Hit that notification bell too, man, if you are so inclined. It don't cost a thing, just hit the ding, bro. As we are on our way, man, we hit 10K subs last month, which is an awesome feat for me because I never thought that would be possible for me here on the channel. I do this for fun, I do this because I love it. And I'm so glad that you have joined the journey with me here on the set, bro. We on the way to the mall, and I'm glad you guys chose to be a part of the set crew. I'm gonna quit my rambling, bro, and get on out of here, man, and go rotate some of these sneakers, bro, because I ain't trying to have none of my sneakers crumble on me. The hell I wear mine, so I digress. I'm getting on out of here, man. Yeah, we out. Peace.